Welcome, everybody. Good morning. It's a real pleasure to be here facilitating this panel with such outstanding and influential women. Each of the women I will present has been able to change the realities of people they live with. And they've done this in many different ways. I will commend their experience and so that you can have an idea on how they have been able to do this, and then we will go for the questions and the dialogue. It has been difficult to choose which are the main things to say about them because they have a very rich and long experience. For Bhanumati Narasimha, I can say she's the director of the Art of Living's Women and Child Welfare Program. Bhanumati's commitment to social causes was inspired by her brother, His Holiness Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. Through her initiative, she strives to spread the message of harmony, human values, violence-free, free-stress society. From the education point of view, she has been running for so many years schools, now up to 600 schools with more than 67,000 children with free education.
Wow.
Irene Natividad is president of Globe Women Research Education, and she has convened women leaders for almost 3 decades at the Global Summit of Women on best practices in advancing women's economic progress. She also conducts pioneering research on women boards directors globally through Corporate Women Directors International. Chetna Sinha served in 2018 as co-chair of the World Economic Forum in Davos. She founded the first business school for rural women and also set up the Mandeshi Mahila Shakari Bank, India's first bank for and by rural women. So as you can see, yeah, please. So as you can already imagine by reading or listening to their curriculums, the transformation each of them has done has been through different approaches. So I could say that Bhanumati has done this change through the spiritual and the education approach. Irene has worked on affirmative action and research, while Chetna has transformed women also by financial inclusion. So many of the topics we talked about yesterday. So this is huge, and I'm sure we are all asking ourselves how they've been able to do this. Who have they worked with, and what can they teach us? So in this sense, we can start with the questions we've thought about, like the why. So understanding why they've done this and in which ways. So for Bhanu, I would like to start with Bhanumati for one question. In your opinion, what are the key factors in building sustainable change? And what role does spirituality play in empowerment and transformation?
Yeah, first of all, I would like to greet you all from India. I bring greetings. It's so beautiful to be in this August gathering, and who all are working for the cause of women. You know, I really appreciate, and I'm very happy to be amidst you all. And to me, you know, what are the factors that can influence in changing, you know, the real building a change is, we can say, mindset, you know, how mindsets, and then about, we can say, education helps, and there is how to bridge the communication gap. Excuse me. So if you come to mindset, I would say when the spirituality can really give you the solution for all these 3 factors, you know. There is a solution lying in spirituality because, you know, for mindset transformation, you need an open-mindedness, you know, and insightfulness. A calm mind, a pleasant mind, excuse me, can definitely think better, find more solutions, For this mindset transformation, I would say meditation, spiritual practices is a main solution. And I have seen world over people who meditate, they have really gained that inner strength comes to you through spirituality, through meditation. And you get this self-confidence, self-esteem grows in us. And when we are confident, we can definitely, we have the resilience to face any issues with a calm mind. Then the solution definitely comes. This has been my experience, you know. Whenever we have seen, wherever there is problem issues, it is better to respond rather than react. This type of mindset comes when you meditate. And secondly, for me, we need to bridge this rural and urban gap, you know. There's a lot of gap between the rural women and the urban. In fact, in the rural areas that I work, education has been my, forte, where it is so much needed, especially in my country. There are many girls who need this education. They don't have the facility, in fact, boys and girls. But for me, education is not just mere information, stuffing information into a child's mind with concepts, information, but it is something much more, you know, creating a space where a child can have that, positivity in a child, and also get this, if you see, we have so many negativity, and when we grow up, we are faced with so many negative emotions, which we are not able to handle it, neither at school nor at home. We are taught this, but a spiritual education, you know, holistic education with value-based education, human values, you know, these things can help a child to have a better insight into, one's own self, and also find better, progress in life, society. Because I feel that individual transformation can be so much, that is what will help a social transformation too, because every individual is what is, make a society. Huh? So this way, proper education, value-based education will be very beneficial for building the change, you know. And that, in that sense, I'm very fortunate to work with children, especially with girls. We have in this half the number of our, they are girls, in our schools. We have girl children. It's a challenge for us, but definitely we are, through spirituality, I would say, through this inner strength, we are able to tackle these issues.
Thank you. Thank you, Bhanumati. Bhanumati, going back to you, and we have little time today because of the beginning of the session. Could you share with us about the beginning of your journey, and specifically which are the lessons we can learn from your 40-year experience educating and empowering women?
Yeah, taking the cue from her, Irini, we have the power, We have the power within us. That is what spirituality is, discovering that inner strength. And I tell you, when we began our journey 38 years back, it was a school of just 30 children, these construction workers' children. They were all, just playing in mud and cement. So my father started this school with 30 children. Literally, it was a small beginning. And now, if you see, we have 618 schools in 20 states of India with 67,000 children, as you mentioned. And it's still growing. This itself gave me that, so much confidence and courage that if you if you do something good, if you think of plan something good, nature helps us. So many volunteers helped us. In fact, the rural Indian, that's why I also mentioned that we need to bridge the gap. There's a big gap between the rural and urban educated. And that is why I wanted to bring in this education. It's another way of angle of empowering women. If you educate a woman, you are educating the whole family. If you educate a boy, you are educating a man of the family. But educated mother can definitely see to it that her children are also educated. In olden days, they used to save, even though they didn't have the access for bank. Even now, many villages don't have. I work with many villages, thousands of villages where you really don't get this access to banking. They have this, chit fund. They collect together. They have their own savings. Now I tell you, they are saving. Before they used to save the money for their marriage of the girl child. Now they're saving, the same women are saving the bank money for the education of their girl child. This is the progress. This wonderful, thank you. This wonderful mindset, this is what I call it, that open-mindedness and the far-sightedness. Just if you give just money, monetary empowerment is not the only answer. There are many people who are very monetarily empowered, but still they have this, there is a sense of lack in them. There is unhappiness. Depression is growing in the world. If you see, we are educated also, and there is one side there is aggression, one side there is depression. So we need to have a balance of mind. For this, I feel we need more and more holistic education. And we need to bridge this gap, And we have so much to learn from rural women. I'm quite sure Chetna will agree with me. When we visit these areas, they have so much of human values. They have this hope, they have the faith, which we as urban women, we lack this, And we need to learn from each other. So when we go from this space of learning and contributing, that is what I call, spirituality is for me something that as mind shift, saying that what can I do to the world rather than what did the world do to me. This shift naturally happens when you have this ambition, you have this aim to bring in more people to spread happiness and make more people. In fact, for me, the education is my passion, because when I was very young, I used to go to school, and then we had a help in the house. She had 6 girls, 2 boys, and the 2 boys will go to school. The 6 girls were not, So she said, I cannot afford. So my brother used to ask my father, if Banu can go to school, why not these children, these girls, So because that lady would say, oh, they are anyway girls, they will one day get married and have children, This is the mindset it used to be when I was small. But now, hopefully, it has changed to a great extent, and that is why I am really focused on girl child education, Even though I love boys, I have 2 boys and 2 grandsons. But it is so important, I have seen, and as you rightly said, she's so intelligent, and then they contribute. And also, when you are happy and contented, and you are educated and your mind is in the right place, I would say, it's not depressed, and when a happy person can create 100 more people around them happy, so is the case with a sad person. A depressed person can create the waves of depression. 100 people will be affected. So we all are, governed by that. Life, it's nothing but a wave function, So that is why it's necessary for us also to attend to this factor, that how to keep a serene, calm mind and still work for your own goal and achieve them. And of course, when we were working, there are many challenges. I wouldn't say all the time it is a success story. All the girls get educated. Not everybody get employment, when they go to in the rural areas. they do get educated. We have schools in the rural area, but there are no employment facility for them. If they're educated, they have to shift to the urban areas. So this is one of the challenges that we face. But still there is hope, and definitely all your goodwill wishes from all over the world also, they know it will definitely help them. I strongly believe in this goodwill. And this is what has happened to our schools, from 30 children to the exponential growth of 67,000 children who get free education, free and holistic education. So this is possible because of many volunteers and well-wishers. So I would say that education is a main reason for any positive social transformation, that it is a long-lasting if we need. That is my angle is from education, and I work for it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, thank you so much for this time. We really enjoyed. Thank you all. And a big applause again for 3 of you.